Hello everybody, welcome back to a brand new video, and today it's a very honest video. Probably the most honest video I've ever created, and we're going to be basically looking at my timeline from 2019 to now. How did I go from winning $1 million drive and racing in British GT to back down to where I was before, really, and into just sim racing and not doing any racing at all. And we'll start right from the top. We'll start from November 2019 and we'll cover it as quickly as possible, but just so you guys can kind of understand what the hell happened, because no one really knows apart from people that are close to me. And I think it's quite important that if you're watching me and you're trying to follow my story, then you understand what's happened so far, and hopefully by the end of this video we'll all be on this level, and for wherever I go from this point onwards we'll do it together. So yeah, right. November 2019, I win World's Fastest Gamer, and I win $1 million drive. I don't know what that means. At the time, I won it. It was a massive moment for me, my biggest achievement. And I went into the winter of 2019 kind of not knowing what was coming up for the following year. I knew it was going to be GTs, so early 2020, right? I heard nothing basically for months, and then I find out I'm racing in GT World Challenge Europe, and that's great. We're doing it with Jensen's team. There was a big announcement and the world was normal. And then COVID-19 hit pretty much instantaneously after I did one test at Paul Ricard. And from about 2 to 3 months, I didn't really know what was happening. I just assumed we were going to continue doing GT World Challenge when COVID was over. I think the whole world was a bit like, what is going to happen? So June 2020, I get told that GT World Challenge Europe is now in the bin and we're going to be doing British GT instead. So I did end up doing British GT, obviously, with Michael O'Brien. I've covered it with loads of content over the last couple of years, and it went really, really well. You know, we won the first race, we got a few poles, podiums, we were strong the whole season. So come the season's end, let's talk about how I got the drive. So I won $1 million drive by winning World's Fastest Gamer. In other words, that means World's Fastest Gamer, the company, was my sponsor for the 2020 British GT season. So they paid big money for me to be in that seat. I raced because I had that money, because I won the competition. Where they got that money from, I don't know, but it doesn't really matter. So at the end of the season, I was staying in comms with World's Fastest Gamer throughout the season, and the idea or the thought process I had was if I did a good job, I would continue to drive in real life in other race series across the world, because I thought it was a long-term campaign, and it did say on the prize it was just one season, but you know, I was getting told things that signified I was going to be doing more if I did well. So come season's end, World's Fastest Gamer effectively ghosted me. There wasn't too much of a debrief, like, you did this well, you could do this better, this is what's going to happen next. It was just the final round ended, it was ghost. I didn't hear too much, and I was kind of left like, okay, what's going to happen now then? How am I going to be racing? So as the months went past, so December 2020, January 2021, February 2021, I was that thought process was getting stronger. What the hell am I going to do? I'm not going to be able to race. I ain't got any money. And if I've got no one to pay it for me, all of a sudden, all this focus and interest on you just goes. Like, it just disappears. You're not being talked to as much anymore. You're not in the loop with anything anymore. These announcements are starting to come out and you're like, okay, right. And so I was left completely in the dark. I mean, this isn't like I'm being sorry for myself video. This is just facts. This is what happened. So, unfortunately, yeah, they ghosted me. My sponsor ghosted me, and I had no other option really. I couldn't race. I didn't have the budget. So, Team Rocket RGN, which consists of Chris Buncombe, Jensen Button, and Bob Neville, they kind of took me under the wing and helped me, or tried to help me, basically find my way back into motorsport and try and give me advice and stuff like that. And I'm still doing that with them today, and it's been a bit of a rebuilding process, but it's worked, and we'll get to that later. So as well as that, I became BRDC Rising Star at the start of 2021. from my British GT efforts the previous year, so that will help as long as I'm in that club to attract sponsors. It gives you a lot of credibility if you're a BRDC rising star. So that was a good boost. Although 2021, it came to like March, April, May time, I had no budget and I had to completely write it off. You know, there's no point trying to scramble enough money for one race. I just had no way of getting on a grid. So I had to completely write off 2021, do sim racing and try and figure out what the hell just happened. Because World's Fastest Gamer, it was more than just a sponsorship. It was a program. So they did everything for me. They organised my license, my helmet, my kit, the testing, the racing, the talking to the team. They did everything. I literally turned up, and this is credit to how good a program it was. I turned up and just drove, and that was perfect. I didn't have to focus on anything. But the problem was that when that stopped, I had to figure it all out. And it sounds like it's so simple, but it's not that simple. If you've never been a real racing driver before at a decent level, there's a lot of stuff you actually have to figure out. How does it work? So that was what 2021 was for, really. Just trying to figure out, if I was to get enough budget to go back on a grid, which is a challenge in itself, what would I need to be doing? And so fortunately, and this is through a friend's friend and just a lot of talking and kind of building a relationship, I have a partner, and I've had one for probably about a year now, and they're called Travel Planet. They're a travel company that deal with big clients, and they sort the travel out for them. So if you're interested in Travel Planet and what they do and who they are, then the links will be down in the description below. And I'm not going to announce anything in this video. I'm just saying my current situation. So, and the good news is, I will be racing this year, and I'm very happy to say that. It won't be a full campaign. It's just going to be, there will be some racing, and it is big. Like, it's not, I'm racing at a lower level than I was before. It's going to be big racing. So, and hopefully it leads on to more. You can never know in motorsport. Obviously, this video is talking about that. It's so unpredictable. 1 minute you're up here, next minute you're down here, and you have nothing. So the plan now then, I have a partner, and we have a good relationship, and I have a team I'd love to continue racing with, and the plan is to build year on year. Now I have a bit more knowledge on how the industry works to just do better than the last year. So this year I will be racing, won't be a full season. The goal next year will be to do a full season, and the long-term goal will be to race and win the Le Mans 24 Hour. That's the long-term goal. And I didn't have a long-term goal in 2020 because I was just naive. I got thrown in and I was just told to drive as fast as possible and do a good job. So you have to aim big, and I am aiming big. And how I quite end up there, I don't know, but you can race GTs, prototypes, well into your 30s. So all I need to do is just figure it out, and I've got time on my side because I'm only 24. So what this whole saga over the last 2 years has also kind of shown to me was that my opportunity I had in 2020, how incredibly rare it was. Like, the more time goes on, the more mental that year seems. And when you're living out that opportunity, right, it's so easy to take it for granted. It's a cliche, but it is, right? Because you go in there and you have to smash it out the park. You have to go in there and act like it doesn't faze you. It's just you take it in your stride. You're not affected by anything. You got to go in and just do a good job and not make a big deal of it, and that will look impressive. And that's the approach I took into it, and that's what I was told to be doing. And it can come across like you're not thankful for it, you're not grateful for it. But that's just the way I wanted to approach it. I wanted to go in there. I didn't want to make a big deal of it. I didn't want to go in there and look flustered or look like I was losing my mind by it all. And I wanted to go in there and just be composed, quick. And so I wasn't really thinking too far ahead. I was just in the moment, going to each race weekend, chilled, trying to find out how I get the best out of myself in these IRL situations. And I just assumed really that everything was going to work out all right. I thought if I do a good job now, it's all gonna pan out in the long term perfectly fine. I was getting told that if I do a good job, there's a high possibility I will continue to race with the program, and I mean, I'm not blaming anyone. I'm just saying it didn't happen. I don't know how or what the situation was with World's Fastest Gamer, you know, the program, but maybe they didn't have the funding for it, and that's fair enough, you know. If you haven't got the money, you haven't got the money. They can't pull that money out of nowhere. So this isn't a blame video. This is their fault I'm not racing. This isn't my fault I'm not racing. It's the situation. And how was I meant to know all this 2 years ago? I wasn't. So it did take a year to figure it out and to learn about it and how to get over it and come back. And I you know, I'm not doing the full season of GT World Challenge. I'm not doing Le Mans this year. You know, I wouldn't say I've made it, but I know I'm racing this year, and I know it's going to be big. So there's progress. So all in all, this actually has been a bit longer than I expected to film this video, but all in all, it's been a big life lesson, and I know how motorsport really works now. I thought it was all sunshine and roses, but it's not. It's an element of smoke and mirrors. Behind the scenes, it can be a bit nitty-gritty and dirty and unfair, but I know that now, and I'm not saying it's going to that knowledge is going to keep me in a car for long, but it's better to go into racing again with that knowledge than without it. So, and yeah, I thought this video would be good to make because the amount of messages I've had on various social platforms talking about, why did Jensen drop you? Why did Rocket not sign you again? You did great. How come you're not racing this year? It just makes no sense. You did such a good job. Obviously, I appreciate those messages because it shows from the people that send them that it's support. But it's just not how it works. Like, I did a good job. I got told from everyone I was doing a good job. Everyone was happy. The sponsor was happy. The team was happy. The manufacturer was happy. But if no one's got money, and it's a lot of money, it's ridiculous. It's 6 figures, you know. If no one's got that kind of money to spend on me, and why would they? You know, I shouldn't walk around feeling entitled that I should be in a car, because the amount of money that you need is ridiculous. Then, yeah, it's just not going to happen. So, but that's the video really. So, give it a thumbs up if you did enjoy and you found it insightful. As I said at the start, we're all on this kind of level of knowledge in terms of how my career has ended up to this point. So, from whatever happens from now onwards, we'll do it together. And obviously I tried to cover as much of it as possible on YouTube and all my other stuff, trying to make content from it and stuff, trying to make it as insightful as possible. I know I don't do the best job, but I'm trying to make it better. But yeah, my racing plans for this year will be announced very soon. I think in a couple of weeks, maybe 3 or 4 weeks. And as I say, I think it's pretty big. So can't wait. So yeah, thank you for watching this video, and until the next video, I'll see you soon.